Hello, and honestly, let's just jump into this. Why don't we hang out while I put together this Vault Boy cutout. Now, if it gives you any idea on how the size is going to be, this is Vault Boy's head, and this is his thumbs up. So he is going to be a little on the larger side. Now I have two piles, the background kind of feel where it's the black outline or the black silhouette here, which I will put together first, and then I will also add in all the color pieces, the blue and his hair. So let's hang out and do this. This way. I have tape. I have glue. The tape is for this part. This is just cardstock, but it's going to be a little difficult to see because my tablecloth is black. Okay, so we're just going to tape at these seams, and once I get this taped, I will show you what I am meaning by all of this. Because this is going to be like the back part, the background of it, and this is going to be a little bit on the creepier side, I think. When okay, let's get his face kind of on here. There is going to be potentially some tape shown right there, which not bad. I should have taped from the back side, but this is what it's going to somewhat look like. So let me see if I can peel this tape off right quick and put it on the back side. The struggle is real with this tape. Don't you hate it when you're working with tape and then it like splits like this? It makes things really difficult. So I am keeping in the fact of me struggling with the tape purely because sometimes struggles happen when crafting. And even though I have been crafting for the longest time, I still struggle with some of the most basic things like clear packing tape. I have yet to find one that is really easy to use. Now, since this will in fact just hang on the wall, there doesn't need to be any stability, I guess, to the tape, but if you were going to do something else to it, you would definitely want thicker materials and better tape. Now, this is legitimately just line up the seams like a puzzle. These are just really big puzzle pieces, and that's just it. Tape the seams up, but double check that everything is correct, because you never know if your tape is going to be too sticky. Now, I did decide to change tape. This is more like a masking tape, so much easier to use. Now, looking at him, you can see that the pieces are in fact coming together and things are lining up smoothly. Now, I know when I lift it up, there might be some gaps, but to be honest, once I put the colored face pieces, the jacket, all of that, a lot of those seams are going to be covered up. But for the ones that are not covered up, then I would take a black marker and just color in the seams where I need to, or a dark blue marker to blend into some of the blue parts a little bit. But for the most part, a black Sharpie will do a pretty decent job. Now, again, just lining up the seam. Now, having everything mildly lined up. Oh, look how cute he's coming along. Different piles, and keeping things organized does in fact make this process go so much quicker and smoother with minimal errors, because tape and paper do not mix very well if you make a mistake here. Now, this is the easiest part but yet it is the most difficult part at the same time. It's easy to tape the pieces, but making sure everything's lined up is difficult. Now, all I have to do are his legs, as you can see. Now, I did speed it up indifferently for some of these moments because some of the timing did take a little bit longer and they would be boring. So I should have cut all of this out, but I wanted you to legitimately see the process, even if it is sped up. You can see sometimes the struggle to get things to line up correctly and how everything does flow together. Because a pile of black paper just turned into the backing for my vault boy. And it didn't really look like much, but now it is time to glue. Now I will say, when it comes to glue, I'm just using a regular school glue because it is legitimately the easiest stuff. Just do not use too much to let it like puddle up, because certain paper will curve or turn or do weird things if using too much glue. So I really did just try to do like a thin little lines here and there, getting totally like, what am I supposed to do to entertain others? Because again, sometimes in my head, this is not entertaining, but I want you to at least see how to do this. And always remember the little parts as well, so they stay down as much as possible without pulling up. Because the one thing I know is if one thing starts pulling up, over time, a lot more pieces will pull up. Now, I have made many of these. Did you see a little smile? I've made so many of these larger off the mat designs that it's not even funny anymore. That's why I'm like, maybe I'll just start doing them and showing the process. Now, I don't know about showing how I make them on the computer because that's a little different of a process for me. And so I can always share that process, but it would basically just be a voiceover with a screen recording. I mean, I don't know if that would be entertaining, but if you in fact do want me to show you the process that I go through prior, then let me know in the comments for that one, because then I will gladly do another one, because I do have a couple more projects for parties that I do have to do. But as you see, this part is so simple. It is just gluing all of the pieces in place while still leaving a black border in between them all to give it that cartoony, drawn kind of look. But don't use too much glue. Now, I think I did pretty good with the glue for this project, but look at him. Look how awesome he is starting to look, but look how huge his hand is. Like, I'm not even joking. His hand is massive. So I obviously forgot to finish putting this part down. No big deal. Everything is still staying pretty lined up. Now I am rubbing it ever so gently and everything because I don't want anything to get harmed. So rubbing it out go really gentle, and it's probably best to not have any rings and jewelry on, so you don't have to worry about anything scratching it as you're rubbing it all out. And apparently, make sure you get all the corners as good as possible as well, because clearly I missed some of the corners, so I did go back through. And the part in his arm where his elbow is kind of like hand on the hip, elbow out, I probably should have cut that out, but I totally did not think about it until after I put them together and was looking at it, that it kind of bothered me ever so slightly. But this is probably just so many different mixes. There's cardstock, there's construction paper. I use whatever I can find in the specific colors I need. Now, when gluing these pieces down, try and get them as close to the other piece as you can, because I think I did a pretty good job. You can very barely just tell that these two pieces are two separate pieces. So you do not want a border between this. You just want that drawn border kind of in certain spots. But he is coming along so nicely. And yes, this video is in fact sped up, but in reality, it only took me 22-ish minutes to actually get this from beginning of me hitting the record button to me hitting the record button to stop, honestly. So it is a really quick process once you get the hang of it. And if you practice putting the pieces together before you glue them down, is very important to get the process going quicker, and you can start memorizing where they went. Okay, are you ready to see this? Now, all done. Now, I think the only thing I might have to do is maybe go back through to some of the edges that didn't get enough glue on them. But look at this. Look at this. Now, this is, supposed to just hang on the wall. And it probably will hang either here or in the other room where I actually live stream playing Fallout sometimes. So that is the point of why I did this. Now, not fully the point, I guess. I do have a birthday party that I'm working on some decorations for that is in fact Fallout themed. So there is that. But this guy is actually going to hang potentially in my background. Don't know yet. But look at him. It's just some glue, some tape, and paper. Now, I know the eyes are a little creepy still. Oh well, I like this. Now, what do you think? I think he's giving you a hint on what you should be doing because you've made it this far, so you know what to do. And consider subscribing because there are more Fallout themed activities or crafts that I've got in mind that I will be working on. So if you're a Fallout fan, would you want a Fallout birthday party with something like this? Let me know in the comments if you're a Fallout fan. Hey, while you're at it, why don't you let me know if you've peeked in my live streams over on Twitch while I'm playing Fallout. Because, why not peek over there sometimes since you're a Fallout fan? Maybe you can give me some hints, some tricks, some tips to what I'm doing wrong, or maybe how to just improve what I'm already doing, But I guess that is it, because this is complete. Now, hopefully you subscribed and everything so you don't miss another Fallout themed video, and I guess until next time, bye.